kick us off. This time it's going to be Garden at the beginning. What was that mumbling at the end?
I'm not entirely sure.
That was, well, it gave me a laugh.
Well, look, Runaway, okay, so yes, second control pick. First time they're picking this map, I believe, and you know, WGS Armament, obviously they've shown they prefer the Busan map. We saw that in Game 5 in their series last week. But it's a map type where, you know, we expect to see Runaway just play that more passive style. Mag can play the Winston very well, and we have seen him flex to it here before. But it's mostly been Reinhardt for him in recent times. He shows the Winston to start, but also he also shows Ashe, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Yeah. Mandu, also, this is one of his better maps in terms of environmental kills. He's found quite a few here with right clicks. So be on the lookout for that throughout the duration.
Okay, will still be the Winston coming through, scoring up against Karayan's Reinhardt. Otherwise, going to be matched 3-3 on either side. WGS going for the right side approach. And will come up the center bridge. They're able to work their way up there pretty safely. Whoop comes in, that's going to be Karayan sailing up the side. Jagon coming up with the first kill of this semifinal. Very nicely done for him. And that will lead to the initial cap going the way of Runaway.
Very well played here by Lee Jagon. It's usually Mandu who comes up with those kills on this map. Not to say that Lee Jagon hasn't had his. This is going to be an early take with not a lot of ult charge, however, for Isu. So
for it again, pushing forward. The boot coming down this time. Not going to be sending anybody off the side. It's going to punish him. Pelican gets the kill with the shift. Takes to the face. Takes him down. Now Mag going to be falling in the front line. It's going to be a very fast flip from the side of WGS to go ahead and gain control of the point. Only 15% gained by Runaway on that initial cap.
Yep, and you know, Isu does build that ult charge in this fight, but it's too late, unfortunately. So a really well-timed cap here. If they miss this one, it's going to be a lot harder. So they get in there before the ults are ready. Pelican has been a great Brigitte in terms of damage output and kill potential. And he's showcasing it here yet again. He can hold this rally for the oncoming approach. Myungbong is so close to that trance. So one thing they really need here for the defense.
Isu building up, getting that energy, pushing up to 100. He does have that grab online. Stand up for the moment, flips over to the side. Makes the throw down that grab, locks them in. Instead it's not from Myungbong, but it's not going to save Gargoyle and Pelican. They both get taken down. Ryan able to find Mag in the meantime. Wings coming through off the back of the Shatter. Cannot get any kills. Shui will be able to finish him off. Isu gets Myungbong. It's going to be another very fast flip back into the favor of Runaway this time.
Mandu buying some time here, but it will be a fast flip, as you say. Unfortunate, the trance was just a little bit late there to save those allies. If Myungbong still had it for now, they could actually realistically approach this and look for a really easy fight. They've got the grab ready, but Runaway has positional advantage here, so making that valuable here against a sound barrier is not going to be easy.
They're way forward, Gargoyle. Grab's going to be online, close it down, no chance to deny that one away. The bomb is out from OWC, so he does not have the mech. Now DPI going to be answering back to one of his own. Sweet going to be taken down. The Shatter out from Mag is absolutely huge, so he kills the back end, and now they're starting to find him. Myungbong and DPI both going to be taken down. Runaway still in control of the point in exchange to the Reinhardts here at the end of the fight. As Runaway pushes forward, we're actually going to have a pause here.
Ooh, not a good place to have a pause. No one's going to argue about that. Obviously, the fight run for Runaway. And
seems like it's a problem on the side of Shui.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Maybe he had a little bit of a pop-off and pulled something out of his computer. I'm not really sure.
Could be.
Seems like it might have been adjusting a cord.
Yeah, probably just a cable check here is what it looks like. Perhaps his headset or maybe his mouse pulled out. I think you were pretty on the money here, so just based on cable checks.
We'll find out.
But yeah, in these fights so far, it's been both teams making really good decisions and understanding their opponent's ults are, because we're seeing these fights and these engages right before the enemy trances up or right before you know, they have the answering grab. So that's why we're seeing these takes happen and these flips happen so fast, because they're not allowing the team who's gotten that last team fight win to capitalize on their ult advantage, because it's been so small each time. Had Myungbong saved the trance, as I was mentioning before, I think that the fight that we just saw Runaway win, or they're currently winning, would have probably been a little bit more competitive. It wasn't a poor decision per se to use the trance there, it was just a little bit mistimed. So those are the kind of swings that can happen, and these little micro things that happen. You know, right now in this meta, gone are the days of the Jonak, the Jaehong, the amazing kill Zenyatta's, and you know, the Undines of the world.
We get every now and then, but it's a bit more sparing.
Yeah, those kind of plays in a dive meta where like someone tries to kill you with a Dragon Blade and you kill him or you sleep him, that kind of skill as a support is not as relevant as how quickly you can build, which does have accuracy to it, but you're not saving yourself, you're not turning a fight that way. You're turning fights through timings and usage of your ultimate, understanding of when to use that. And I think that's why there were some shaky moments for Ella Mystic the last few weeks in terms of that with Xe. They're winning the fights before he has to trance, so it's going okay for them.
Yeah.
But, you know, you could feel that, but yeah, just a small mistake there. Kind of dragging this on. It was not like the end of the world mistake or anything like that, but we're just talking about this because of the pause. But no longer.
We'll go ahead, jump back into the game here. At the end of the action we would expect as RunAway has regained control. They have the advantage right now, moving up 53% to 46. WGS, Rally Online shattered nearly there. Myungbong trailing a little bit further behind Gangnam Jin as he is poking out on their approach, trying to get that trance up yet. Extra orbs through. DJ Gong, does he want to go for it again?
He wants to.
It's going to be yes. Gets the poop. Does he go off the side? Oh, he gets Mandu of all people. Couldn't find a ledge to grab onto. Trying to skate his way back in. Shui will be traded out. Myungbong coming up with skill, getting closer to that Transcendence. Grab now going to be down. The pin is going to be good. Ryan eliminated. WGS Armament going to have to reset and reapproach, but they're running out of time.
Yeah, that was a really efficient grab as well there. It's the only ult they really used.
Hisu killed himself somehow.
The right clicks happen to start things off well for them. Hisu being gone here is a huge opportunity for WGS on the respawn. DPI
Get back here.
getting that health back, gets the armor from Pelican. They're going to have to rush in.
Expect either Mandu or DPI to try to tag in onto the point.
Should be DPI.
He wants to go back and try to escort Hisu forward, but he can't do it. Has to play up here with the rest of the squad. Looking for another boop. Sends the right click in. Got DPI. He takes him out. No Diva in the mix. Trying to stay alive. Sound barrier now going to be through for RunAway. 46% is all the WGS has, and it seems like it's all they're going to get here on the first round as they clean them up. Lee J gone. Slime-esque. You think back to that final versus Coma du Panthera in Season 2. Slime and Coma consistently sending their enemies into the well. Lee J gone making a very good impersonation of that performance here in Lijiang.
It definitely does feel like he is the next generation of Lucio for RunAway. In this last fight, too, the right click comes out well timed because he knows that he just used the rocket boosters to tag the point. And he's also in the window. If you go back and watch, you'll see he's like in that little window there. So if he gets knocked with enough momentum, he doesn't have the thrusters to save himself. And that's how you're able to knock a Diva off. You know, it's not a mistake by DPI. He had to tag the point.
Yeah.
But a really good capitalization there on the cooldown.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Lee J gone knowing he had to use these in order to get back to the point this quickly. Great tracking.
He's just thinking one
all
step
those
ahead.
minor abilities.
Yeah. As we head to control center, this is the one where the neutral fight is so important.
Yeah, significantly less hazard potential here. So feel better about those groups coming in from Lee J gone unless they're playing out along the walkways, but I don't think that's going to happen with the 3-3. The way around Mag going to be shorting that fire strike goes into the barrier rather than into the enemy team. Swings coming out. That's going to be Pelican taken down. Mag finds the first kill. Still under some fire, down to about half HP. WGS still trying to sit up into the point. They start camping it. Can't quite get there though. RunAway inches their way forward and onto the point. One contested with Mag. Every time he shows his face, he just takes so much damage. The barrier being beaten, battered, going lower and lower. Now winning the neutral, they start capping it themselves. WGS now have to re-aggress to try to keep this one from going over to the side of RunAway. Gangnam Jin nearly with that Transcendence up. Sound barrier is going to be up first though. Lijiang goes ahead, drops it down. Mandu, he's still only halfway there. Will go ahead and invest his Transcendence, keeps him topped up, and Ryan with a pin manages to find Shui. They're going to turn around, Ryan dumps in that Earthshatter as well. They lock up Mag, he'll get himself a double kill, and maybe even the cap as we go through this extended fight. Yoku's going to be going off the side of the map to get that fast reset. WGS in control.
This could be worse for RunAway. This absolutely could be worse. WGS could have won this fight without tank ultimates and be holding this choke. RunAway is going to have a huge opportunity to come through here, even without support ultimates, because they know those AoEs are not online. Jongagon's going to have to be careful not to tie to right clicks on the way in. But as you can see here, WGS isn't even going to try to challenge the choke here. So normally the first cap wins you that, but not in this case, because they don't have those ults.
Gargoyle burning himself up closer and closer to that Graviton surge very swiftly. Here he has that online for the bigger bang combo. Mag going to be dropping in the hammer. Manages to find one. The shield comes up. Ryan tries to protect him. Now the sound barrier is going to be invested. Myungbong nearly with that next Transcendence. Gargoyle still going to get dropped. The bomb from QOQ comes up with 3, and just like that, 5 people disappear off the face of the map. Myungbong cleaned up at the end. The flip comes back in. RunAway gained control.
Yeah, and now the Zarya, ults are reset once again. So for WGS, they have the same opportunity to come through here. We have the exact same ultimate space on both sides. They have the same opportunity to come in before that AoE is ready. Mag does not have a shatter. They have to realize this. This is their window, and they come through.
So very close though. Karayan pushing forward. The shield bash is going to be in. Mag tries to get the shield up in time. Karayan drops the hammer, manages to lock up Hisu in the front, but can they get the kill? The answer is going to be no. There's got enough chin. Keeps him alive with the transcendence on the sound barrier. Is going to be layered in on top. Karayan going lower and lower, but Myungbong will be able to top him back up with a trance of his own. Pelican throwing in the rally. Mag going to be taken down. DPI finding that kill, and WGS pushing forward towards the point. They managed to find Hisu. Just have to clean up QOQ, the only remaining tank. RunAway though, looking like they're just going to go ahead and surrender over the flip. Barely gain the lead. That right click comes through. Gargoyle gets another little kill. It will extend this a little bit with Lee J gone, but this could cost them in the end. So far, DC delayed.
They're giving a lot of charge though.
Or QOQ rather going to be popped out.
I think in a lot of cases, you know, you have to question the decision. We don't often do this for RunAway, but I think in a lot of cases you rather give less ult charge and give them a little bit more percentage. Either way, he still doesn't have it. He does not quite have that ult to hold this choke.
He's going to be tied up with Hisu. Will be pretty even. They also nearly have that Earth Shatter. One good fire strike, one.
They want the transfers.
They have it online. He's looking for the pin to get the shield bash in, the knock into the ground. Transcendent's going to be out from Gangnam Jets. They try to push through the choke. They manage to find Pelican. A good opening here. Brian still could shut this down with a well-placed Earth Shatter. He gets pooped over the side, isolated. Zarya Bubble trying to keep him alive, but it's not going to be enough. QOQ scoops that one up, and WGS, they have surrendered their advantage. They do not play up into the choke. They kite their way back after Pelican dies, and then they just get picked off one after the other.
Now RunAway's got the choke control. They've got the ultimate. So the first time really on Control Center here, it's actually RunAway who gets this ult advantage. They can really use to hold this choke. Great chance by them to enter.
Yet again, he's fantastic move from Lee J. He might not be able to knock
Shatter's
him off.
good, though.
He's still going to be isolating them. The Shatter is going to be good. Brian throws that one down. Now on the back of the grab, Myungbong using the transcendence, tries to keep it topped up. QOQ manages to find one with the self-destruction. Pelican goes down, but it's WGS who are quite handily winning the fight. Now they're going to be getting the flip meter onto the point, and RunAway, they're only up 12%.
Yeah, Lee J. tries to make that a big bang there, tries to get the big explosion, but it's only the one. And WGS not only win the fight really with just a well-timed trance from Myungbong, redeeming himself for the previous round, but now they hold those AoE ults in the choke. Not the grab, but they'll have the shatter shortly. They decide to move back here rather than fighting for it and get that shatter. Just want to play safer on the point. This allows RunAway to get him around here.
Shatter going to be coming down. Mag not really finding anything on the back of it though. Karayan getting closer and closer to one of his own. Coming back up. Bomb thrown into the side. DPI manages to find Mag. I believe they get a shield bash in. He got popped. Answering shatter out from Karayan is massive. Locks him up, and Gargoyle says thank you very much. Noms up those kills. And closer to that Graviton Surge, but it seems like he is not going to be needing it. 100% about to be coming through. WGS will take the second round on Lijiang, 188, which means that we have to settle this on Night Market again.
RunAway is looking a little bit shaken here too. I have to say, you know, very rarely do we ask the question, would it have been better for them to give the point and give less ult charge? Very rarely do we ask the question, do they really need to go for this flank? They've taken so much damage. Whereas WGS Armament is playing like they have nothing to lose, and with the fan base RunAway has and their perfect record, that you can feel there's more pressure on their side in a weird way. Because this is not this is the pressure of the org and their history, not these 6 players who don't really have history outside of QOQ in terms of playing here in Korea. Otherwise, it's a rookie squad.
Oh. No. Are they going to?
Looks like it.
Yes,
Let's see how they play it compared to Element Mystic. Same style, or is it going to be solo pick style?
He reveals it right off the bat, pushing forward here towards the center. Seismic Slam's going to be absolutely huge. Look at that shielding going through as he pops up to 400. The first punch is going to be solid as Pelican hits the wall. He is dead. Another Seismic Slam in, gets the uppercut here onto Karayan. Tries to go for the pin to deny away the rocket punch, but still the follow-up from RunAway is going to be too good. They collapse in onto the Reinhardt. They take him down. It's going to be more environmental kills. Lee J. feeling pretty darn good about this map.
There's the resets here. And, you know, right now, this Doomfist is looking like it's more in the vein of what we saw from Element Mystic, staying with the squad, coming in with them, looking for those kills that way. He is obviously going to take the same space that Sparkle hides here on the high ground because he can, and he can get extra damage from that and have a different approach angle. But once he's spotted, he backs off. He doesn't need to be up there. He doesn't need to have that surprise factor. Just an extra boon for him. But look at this, Pelican dead already.
Yeah, they managed to take him down. Hisu, however, going to be traded out. TPI knocked out. Karayan eliminated QOQ. With this Zarya building up rapidly, has that 100 energy, melts them down as the grab online. And just hold on to it as lands another one. Not even sure how many kills he just got in that fight, but I believe it was at least 4, maybe 5.
Just a ton of damage coming up from this energy. They have basically the big 6 online. Jesus 20% away from making that happen. WGS, this is not the fight they really want to commit their ultimates to unless they can get a really effective trance. Otherwise, RunAway is just going to out-efficiency them.
Dive up there looking for that high ground seismic slam. Nearly has it online, as you say, that meteor strike be coming through. Blast Out Search is going to be out from Gargoyle, locks him up, goes in for the punch, takes Pelican low, but he cannot get the execution. The Transcendence from Youngbong helps keep him alive, and Brian finds a pin onto Shui. There's no way forward, they need to get the flip though. WGS still not in on the point, only the break going down. RunAway still playing up, but very limited on ultimates. Lee Jae-gon needs to try to save them with that sound barrier. Youngbong going to be picked off into the back line. Time from Misu. He'll find the kill now. QOQ gets rid of Pelican. Punch in, cannot deny DPI the Renekton, but now Korian is going to be dead.
It was essentially a 5v6 fight for RunAway. They're winning 2. And Hisu just comes up with these picks. He gets the kill on the Myungbong, who's lagging behind. There's no one to care for him there back there. No protection. He sees an opportunity, and he takes it. This is RunAway's playstyle, the punish style. And tagging this point is going to be virtually impossible.
Yeah, it actually is. They cannot make it there in time. RunAway will be able to close out Lijiang Tower here at the end, but a pretty good fight, a valiant effort from WGS in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. It was the Doomfist that gave them the most trouble. They just weren't able to work around it, unfortunately. The picks were coming in too consistently. The damage output, again, with this sort of Reinhardt Doom dive is immense. You know, if you mess up in 1 second or you accidentally use your speed boost before and you can't use it to retreat, you are going to get deleted. Otherwise, though, there were some questionable rotations from RunAway around the sides. They were coming in at angles that allowed Korian and Ko to get the most damage possible, to get big fire strikes on Control Center especially. That was the biggest concern. And, you know, at the end of the day, RunAway does come up with the victory here. But as you say, WGS putting up a good fight, showing us that there is a real chance that they could turn this series around. It's only game 1. So we do see, you know, Flowerman trying to get a rise out of these guys again. He just nods. He's like, look, just take this water and leave me alone.
And Max always been, seems like, you know, one of the quieter members on the squad. So trying to get a rise out of him a little bit more difficult. I thought he was going to try to drink it. I was like, the cap's on, buddy.
Yeah, well, a lot more chugs going on over here on the side of WGS Armament. Very close call. The WGS coaching staff has seriously leveled up since Season 1, you know. Now that they've combined with Armament, this is the scariest form of this roster we have ever seen. For a lot of people, you know, who only watch playoffs, are like, this is a Royal Rotor team. Well, it's not, but it is a new roster. It is a new coaching staff. Well, an evolved one, I should say. And like, they are making smart choices. They're leveling up. Like, to see the amount of improvement we've seen from WGS Armament throughout, you know, basically 6 weeks of play is insane. RunAway hasn't improved as much. They started, their baseline was higher, right?
Yeah.
And WGS Armament is just trying to meet that level. And so far, you know, on our first map, they are nearly there. Hollywood has been their go-to map for hybrid thus far. RunAway obviously has no map picks to speak of on that thus far. So I think that Hollywood's the one you expect, but it's also given that we had a locked map pool. So we may see something like a King's Row, which I think would be good for their playstyle here, somewhere where Korian can really shine, Gargoyle as well.
King's Row, Eichenwald still hasn't really come through yet. Maybe we get to see that pick come out at some point here in the playoffs.
It's always been a historic one for RunAway.
It has been. So better or worse.
I think if you're worried about Doomfist, you're kind of thinking like, ooh, Hollywood, maybe not so much. We don't want to go to that one. It's been one of Doomfist's more popular maps for hybrid. And Hisu obviously played the hero quite well.
I think we've only seen Doomfist actually on Hollywood.
Yep.
Here we go.
All right, is it going to be back to Hollywood? Will we see rather a move away to something like the King's Row? No substitutions here. And I don't think we'll be seeing any for the entirety of the series.
Probably not.
It's only really Flora could sub in for DPI. Very unlikely.
Yeah, DPI's been so good as of late that seems like that would be a big mistake.
Blizzard World.
Okay. So where once this was, you know, RunAway debuting this map for us in Korea, the first team to actually pick it, Now it's going to be WGS picking it against them.
Yep, it was in playoffs when Blizzard World was first unlocked for play. See if they can win it this time. Had some issues in that previous series against X6. If you remember when they picked it the second time around after defeating Kongdu Panthera. A lot of mirrors you can draw here.
See how these guys are going to play this one out as we get ready to dive into Blizzard World. Seems like, however, Yep.
We could talk about how this map operates because a lot of people don't know because we've only seen it once. It's very similar to kind of how you see Hollywood operate in terms of the compositions, right? You see the 3-3, like very, very basic, right? We haven't really seen any Junkrat or anything to move away from that. It's about that, and we saw this with Stormquake at MVP Space for those who missed the series. It's about just trading up with your Zenyatta ultimates, getting your Zenyatta in position to build ultimate, which is very difficult for the attacker compared to the defender because you have that long, almost red carpet walkway, and then you have to go around the point, which is very Volskaya A-esque. If you lose the fight as the attacker, the run back is very far on Blizzard World compared to something like Hollywood. It takes you a lot longer to get to the actual fighting point. The distance between the spawn and the point is similar, but to where you actually have to engage and how complicated it is to move around and get to that point. It's very much a defender's advantage situation. And we may simply have this map decided by like one tick on A because of that, like it was in our previous series.
Could be. I mean, again, just to give that reminder, the last time these guys squared off, WGS, was their, I believe, the second week of play, so they only had one match under their belt in Season 3 at that time, and they have massively improved since then, but it wasn't Mbani. It was a full hold at the hand of RunAway. So need to have a much improved in their performance coming into Blizzard World.
So far, in terms of control, that has been true. Not enough to get them a win, but you could feel that this is a different WGS than when we started.
Yeah,
and I think that fan sign where we saw the thermometer earlier is a perfect personification of where this team is at. It's like it's heating up. It's getting stronger every week. As Gargoyle, he's getting hot.
Hope your wrist's all right. Too much Overwatch?
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Could be a break. That sucks. I broke my wrist before when I was younger, and it's not a fun experience. So
it's rough, man. You can't play games.
Would not recommend. Yeah, I had to learn how to write with my left hand for a while, so I was ambidextrous for a little bit, but lost that. Don't remember how to do that anymore.
Yeah. The only thing that ever happened to me where I couldn't use one of my hands was I actually had my right hand was scalded. Some hot water spilled on my hand. And basically, like, it was virtually impossible for me to use the hand for about a week. So I couldn't play games. I couldn't do much. I'm left-handed, so luckily I was able to write. But
the upside for me was because I didn't tell anybody that I was ambidextrous. This happened. I was out in like 4th grade, and then somebody had to write all my notes for me in class.
Nice.
So some other poor student, bless their heart, just sit there and write everything double.
Looks like everything's sorted, though.
Yep. Ought to be good. Make sure a little cheer there at the back end for RunAway.
Yep. Alrighty, well, this is a big test for RunAway. This is a map that they no doubt have bad memories on. In that Season 1 series with Panthera, they were able to win the map because Panthera didn't have a hit scan player, a sniper player at the time. TK had to flex onto it. This is like old history now. I know it was not even really a year ago, but it feels so long ago. But then when they did it against their next opponent, X6 had Godspeed, and it didn't go so well. So bad memories there. Different meta. We will see 3-3 to lead us out here for both teams. Mirrored compositions, as it was with MVP Space and Stormquake here. Remember, defender's advantage massively. You can see that Zenyatta line of sight advantage here as well for Gembo.
Pushing their way forward, WGS is going to be wrapping around the right-hand side, come up onto the high ground, and maybe drop down to. Do they go all the way around? Let's see. Seems like we'll be pushing out the gateway, but have their options. They will be wrapping around the backside. They'll try to go through the archway here. Very dangerous for them, but get a couple of picks on the members of RunAway. Then they're going to be cut off from being able to join back into the squad. Trying to lead the charge. Gets a couple hammer swings in, knocks them back over towards the point. Falcon tank jump down to about half HP. They'll slowly start ticking back up. Now they're up over onto the high ground. Boom coming through. Legion on them. Not going to have enough of an angle to try to knock them back off the dock. No, it's too much as far as the distance is concerned.
Legion healed them up. Now they can drop down.
Their way through.
DPI doing so much damage.
Layering that. UOQ trying to match him so far as the ult concerned. Ult charge is concerned. He's doing a very good job. And BGS are being routed back off the point. Gangnam just got a nice angle here on the backside of the squad. They do cut their way back around the corner. Now starting to push their way up. Grab's going to be pinning them into the wall. Mandu going to be the first one to drop. Now Karayan and Pelican both gone down. And after a lot of ring around the rosy, it seems like RunAway will be able to pick up the victory.
And the saddest thing is, as you see Myungbong die, you see his ult charge complete. He was so close to having that trance up. That was the thing I was talking about. So tough for the attacking Zen to get that first. He did get it first, but only in death. Now it's matched with Gangnam Jin. So even though Hisu's ult had to be used there, they have the answering trance to Gargoyles here. So that small advantage won't really amount to anything unless they can force the trance from Gangnam Jin first. We're going to see rallies traded.
Pushing their way up. Rally's going to be out from both sides. Shatter online for Croy. Oh, he's going to be stunned right out of the bubble. A bit too late from Gargoyle to save him. Answering Shatter from Mag, however, not going to get anything, so fairly even as far as that's concerned. Now the grab's going to be coming in. He's going to be taken down. Gangnam Jin with the Transcendence, stacking those ultimates up. Trying to keep everybody alive. Looking to find the exchange of the Brigidas. In so far. Now Karayan's going to be taken down. Mag coming up to kill Gargoyle. Hiding his way back. High energy on this Zarya. Has a shielding for a while, but now is pretty much by himself and is trying to exit with his life intact, but he might not get that opportunity.
Looking like a hold here is
back into the squad. Bubble comes up, and yeah, he will get taken down. All that energy built up going to be gone.
It's a hold. It's a delay. He gets a little bit of ult charge from that, but he's obviously much more. UOQ should be able to remake here just from a barrage from his pistol, which is, you know, obviously
please come out, guys.
It's got a pretty slow firing speed, so eventually they're going to walk into this, right? They have to come out eventually, and he's also just timing up to it.
Yep.
So he's totally fine. That could have been bad. That could have been what led to WGS capping, but he's fine. For this attack, there's not many tools for WGS. It's going to be one of those fights, so they just have to walk into a grab unless they can eat it. If DPI can do that, they've got an opportunity here.
Yeah, get that Shatter online. Karayan needs to not get bashed out of it this time. 100 energy for Hisu. Grab ready to go. Gangnam Jin waiting with that Transcendence for Gargoyles. Grab will come through, locks him up. DPI melted out of that mech. Myungbong a bit too late. Can't keep him alive. Lose out the Violent Form Diva going to be there. The Shatter going to be huge. Locks up 3, including Myungbong in the back. He's getting tagged up. Shui will be able to find the kill.
Gargoyle cannot get staggered.
That might just be it. 29. He's going to get taken down. The Fire Strike from back finds it. Hisu popping up in the front.
It's hard to say if the Fire Strike misses if he still survives because QOQ could chase him. He still had his thrusters available. And I just don't think they can touch this anymore. It's unfortunate because they had to
string their way in.
They had all these ultimates. Look at their ults. They may never get to use them.
QOQ, does he want to just throw the bomb or save it? Seems like it's going to be the latter, at least for now. Try to zone them back off the point. But the pillars they can play around. Do you think it can
get in? They got the overtime.
Work their way in. Karayan, Shatter online. Can he deliver an OT victory to get this cap on A and try to extend their time on Blizzard World? Grab's going to be coming down. Gargoyle locking him in. Bombs in on top. Looking for the pickoffs, but it's not going to find anything. Responding Grab. Locks the members of WGS, and they are dropping one after the other. Mandu, Karayan, and Pelican all going to be gone. The OT getting ready to take away. Myungbong does manage to outfit Gangnam Jin, but in the end, they will all die. The team wipe is there, and RunAway will full hold on Blizzard World.
RunAway looks very excited about this one. A nicely executed full hold, but it has been nothing but full holds here on this map so far. So they're still going to have to get that tick. They may find themselves at the end of a very similar attack. If they can't break through, if they can't trade up really efficiently. It's crazy how scrappy RunAway was able to fight that first push because we were so close to that tick coming through for WGS Armament. They came in, they were winning the fight, they shoved RunAway off the point, and they looped around, and RunAway was still able to win that in the end. Very, very long runbacks for both sides, obviously. But for the attackers, it's usually that you have this nice advantage where if you trade pretty evenly, you can just jump back to the point. Not to be the case. I like to see Mike every time.
I like to think that in the Overwatch timeline, since it's like far into the future, that Mike Warheim is just kind of he's been placed into like an Omnic body or something like that. He's like eternally existing and like running the company. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Either that or he like goes the way of Frank Archer from Full Metal Alchemist, is like a machine like comes to like destroy it. I'm not really sure. Like, I'll take either one. But yeah, let's see how RunAway approaches this. Remember, the trance, if you can get it first as the attacking team, which is so hard to do, that sometimes is just alone enough to get you one tick, and that's all you need to win this map and go up 2-0. So we're going to have to be watching very closely Gangnam Jin's ult charge for these first few pushes.
Their way up. It's not broken and don't need to fix it, so 3-3 out from both sides. WGS, though. Let's see how they handle the ring around the rosy shenanigans, because it seems like RunAway is doing the same approach. No, okay. Drop down. Yeah, they spotted out. They tagged up there. Gangnam Jin nearly getting picked off. That would have been catastrophic for them.
That's actually really nice for them, for WGS. They beat up by a lot of times.
Yeah, armor forward, bubbles out. Pelican going to be taken down. DPI at half HP on the mech. Now going lower and lower. They're trying to pop him out of that. Hasn't been able to do it yet, but shooting up into the front. Achilios going to be ranged, swinging away, trying to wait for somebody to walk into his range. In the meantime, they're just ticking this off. They get so very close, they just need to boop them off. Mondu's going to be gone. DPI taken out of the mech. Karayan can't make it in, and RunAway will just take it straight up.
Very easy win here, first push. They got scouted on their approach path there, and the strategy they chose was sniffed out, but it didn't matter because even though it bought time for WGS, even though they came at a predictable angle because of the wraparound they had to do, and even still WGS had the better angle there to defend, they got the first kill. They got that opening for Gita pick, and that's all it takes. And after that, you know, WGS was trying to touch the point while also not losing a 5v6.
Yeah, who can really touch the point in that situation? No one can walk up. It's just too much damage.
They're just going to die faster. It's like you're in quicksand.
It was a catch-22 situation to be in, but RunAway maybe giving us another 3-0 semifinal here, where they can go on to Busan to square off against Element Mystic.
Yeah, it would be, you know, a historic moment again to see RunAway go to back-to-back finals with a new roster, the likes of which has only been seen like and it's not even the same thing, but SKT's run, you know, with their multiple back-to-back LCK victories in Korea, like that was slightly changed roster. It was not the same roster that won back-to-back season to season.
They always had fake,
but in some parts removed, some parts were exchanged. But this is a completely new roster that we are seeing here. It's just kind of unheard of. I mean, we really just don't see this happen.
It's such an impressive story for these guys, honestly.
And the dominance at which they have done it as well.
I mean, it's like it's very similar to the story of Element Mystic from Season 1, where they just kind of got these guys together. They were doing so very well, except RunAway made it to the semifinal here, and they are probably very likely going into that grand final because it's only one more map that needs to be played. WGS, they need to pick something up on Assault. Again, I've said it before, they got full held on Nambani. They got full held on Hanamura the last time they played against RunAway. Does history just repeat itself?
It does feel that way. You know, that is the direction we are leading.